Final Fantasy VII Part 3 HYPECAST. Discovery is the key word that I want to talk about today. And I'm saying key word because Nomura himself, or was it Hamaguchi? I will bring up the quote later, said that Rebirth, they wanted to focus. The key word of Rebirth was bonds. And I'm pretty sure I heard it from somewhere, but could not find the source. That remake was all about reunion, reuniting with these characters, right? So, reunion, reuniting, bonds of friendship. Part 3, discovery. And when I say discovery, I also mean that it is going to be interwoven to every aspect of the game, just like they said about the bonds of friendship being a part of every aspect of Rebirth, including, like, this is the reason why we have synergy attacks. This is the reason why we have, like the whole, you get it. With Part 3, discovery. Yeah. And I keep saying this word because we're talking about exploration and how we think it should be handled in Part 3. And so I guess we're just going to jump right in. Just going to jump right into this. Okay, I actually kind of was like, I hijacked this topic and I was like, listen, boys, I want to talk about this. I've been sitting on it for a while. I just really want to talk about it. So, of course, I could sit here and say Expedition 33. I could sit here and say things like Breath of the Wild or Elden Ring when I say no side quest indicators, no checklists, no fast travel. I'm talking about just pure discovery, all right? And I'm not talking about anything that would be out of the realm of what Final Fantasy is. It's not like this is introducing something brand new to people that are Final Fantasy fans. In fact, now, this is reminiscent of the OG Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy IX, all the way back to Final Fantasy I. There was no quest markers, no checklists. It was fly around in your Highwind, land here, and see what people had to say. I don't know where to go next. Well, if, yep. You get what I'm saying? I don't know where to go. I got to go talk to somebody. And I'm going to bring this video up when I'm done talking. But I took little clips today because I went back and I played Final Fantasy VII OG. And I'm like, all right, what happens when you first get the Highwind? What is going on? Tifa is in control. She's the main character. You're looking for Cloud. There's no indicator saying, hey, go here. All right, next objective, down south. Do that. Objective marker clearly labeled no. No. Where do I go? I have no idea. If you're a new first-time player, well, you're going to be flying around the world map for a bit, just like, where the heck is Cloud? It was almost like where in the world is Cloud Strife? Carmen Sandiego. You get what I'm saying? So you go, if you land in Icicle Inn.
Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah, come on, man. Dating myself. If you land in the Icicle Inn, you go talk to somebody there. They'll say something like, "Oh, if I were you, I'd get as far south as I can from here. There's a little island down there. It's a town called Medil. If you go to Bugenhagen, which I believe everybody would go to Bugenhagen for answers about where's the live stream swell up, Bugenhagen would tell you, hey, there are places like that where the live stream meets the surface, but most of those are underwater, or way beneath the surface, or not the surface, underwater, the ocean surface. And he said, but there is an island to the south where you can go to. And it's basically like, if you didn't play the game before, you talk to these people and then you're, okay, I got to go over here. So that is the sense of discovery that I'm looking for in Part 3, removing all of that stuff and just let me figure it out. Now I have a whole lot more to go into, but I kind of want to hear, that was my baseline surface level pitch for you guys. What do you think about that idea?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so I kind of got some questions to lead in with too. So I want to start with, so because of the way that the story is laid out, right, will parts of it remain sort of a gated open world and unlocking zones happens gradually, right? Like in Rebirth?
I'm glad you asked.
Will it finally become... Yeah, so we can jump off right here. I can throw a couple more questions into the mix to kind of build off it.
Keep it going.
All right, so the next question is, will it finally become fully open world like OG FF7, right? When
Mhm.
you get to that Medill section, like, do you just have full reign? And then I have another, this is sort of just a side thought, right? Could it be a hub-based open world where you return to the Highwind as a central base to fly between like sprawling regions? Or are we going to see interconnectivity? Right. So I'm pointing at some other topics that I got some notes on here that we'll talk about when we get to, but this is kind of like how I wanted to open.
I love it, man, and I'm going to say I'm going to try as hard as I can to not get off topic, right? Because that's what Hypecast is all about. I want it to be 1 hour of just here's what the topic, and we're going to go full throttle on it, and give you the excitement. Hopefully, at the end of the show, you're like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for part 3." So
Yeah.
I got you covered on the whole idea of like, is it still gated? And yes is my answer in a way. So the only way I can really do that is to show you this is my predicted world map.
Yeah.
So this is my predicted world map. I'm going to change the size of this real quick. So while I change the size of this, Dragoon King, what are your thoughts so far? Do you have any questions as well that I'll answer?
Nah, man, I think you guys kind of all nailed the points. I'm most curious about how the Highwind's going to be used as a hub. Like,
Yeah.
that's what has me most interested. How we're going to collect things. Like, if Chocobo breeding comes back, will we collect the Chocobos that we got in Rebirth? Yep. Are we bringing them onto the Highwind?
Yep.
You know, like all these things that are people who we've collected along the way. As, like,
people who we've collected.
You know what I mean? Like, they've joined our party, and it's like, hey, come on. You're with us now. Like
Captain Titoff, nice Titoff.
Highwind, that's Titoff. And or the 7th Infantry, or any number of friends that we've just sort of made along the way.
Yeah.
I feel like giving us the Highwind to a legitimate scale offers so much room and like maneuverability inside the thing that we could have more options. We could have Chocobo breeding to a scale that we've not seen before. We could have a number of people who are, say, vendors, menders, whatever, like just having a mobile hub that you could travel the world with. And to me, just sounds like the most hype part of all of this. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to transpire.
Yeah, and going back and playing the OG, it really seemed like they wanted it to be a hub in the sky, right? They wanted you to keep on going back inside, because if you go, they even have an operations room where you can walk in and take a look at a map. And on that world map, God, I got pictures I gotta bring up. It's so hard to freaking talk and then also produce the show. But I have pictures I want to show you guys. So when you go look at the map in the operations room on the Highwind, it does give you like, hey, here's your current objectives. And they label it on the map. So in a way, you do sort of still get that objective marker, but only for the main story. Like, this is only for like, hey, here's the next thing to do. And that's all I'm asking. You can still do that if you want in part 3 to give you that, like, you go into the operations room, you see the world map, or even just pressing select or whatever, bringing up the world map. Just the MSQ, just the main story path. Now, the only way I can answer your question, Wiley, is to bring up this map. This is the one that I predicted. This is like this was even before the PC version of Rebirth came out. So you'll see some sort of things that you might be like, what? But basically, I made a whole video on this. Me and Wiley did. You guys can go back and watch on how I came up with this world map. But basically, I just took a lot of screenshots and analyzed boosted contrast to try to find land masses and where water like comes in and stuff like that. And I found it and got the shape of the continents, at least some of it, and then predicted like, hey, here's Rocketown region, here's the northern region, Medill, Wutai over here, and I added the other islands like Cactus Island and your Materia caves. What's up, Wiley?
Goblin.
So I have a question for you, Dan.
Yeah.
So this map is based on a flat world. Do you think that it's possible the final map will be a different shape because it's now mapped to a globe?
Dude, I was thinking about this so hard, especially since I've been able to kind of figure out how massive that Highwind really is. And when you land it in the middle of Junon region, it takes up a huge chunk. It's like, if I go in here to Junon region, it's like it takes up pretty much, look at it, you can see it right there. Boom, it takes this whole like section. So it's pretty crazy on how massive the Highwind is, and landing in these locations would be kind of awkward. So that's where I'm like, all right, how does this work? Do they create a whole new map for the skies? Like skies region gets its own world map. And I don't know, because also when you take off, you break the camera and you go all the way up in the sky, you can see the square like Unreal Engine. This is the world map we're building in type thing, and then it just falls off. They're gonna have to do some work. They got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know necessarily how they're going to do it. I do believe it's got to be interconnected. I believe that if I go to Wutai and I'm traveling west, I end up on this side. Like, it's just got to be a smooth thing. So there is that. We got to. But
that's something I want to touch upon real quick then, while we're on that. So, will the world be a flat map that wraps around like earlier Final Fantasies, right? Like 1 through 6, or will it feature a globe like FF7?
Ooh, come on, baby. Oh man.
Because you can do that either way, and you can make it work, but you know, what are they going to do? How are they going to pull this off? And I have some thoughts about how they could pull this off too. Okay. And I want to hear you guys what you think.
I'll just throw in real quick. I'd be worried about it being a globe, honestly, because I feel like if you made a globe on a map with a map this small, it would make the planet feel very small. So unless you made a way for the ocean to be super vast, I don't know how you would successfully, like on the original game, the globe effect was like fine because everything was sort of disproportionately scaled to begin with.
And it was fine to just keep popping in.
Right, like, I mean, look at Cloud walking around on the overworld, like he's massive when he's walking around the field because you have to adjust the scale, so to speak. But with a game like this, you're not doing that. Everything is to scale. So if you were to fly from like Wutai to Midgar, and you could just wrap around pretty quick, I feel like it would make the planet feel smaller than it. I mean, in some ways, Rebirth almost feels smaller. Like the planet almost felt smaller than you would expect because you could see like Junon from Goza del Sol almost. It's weird. Like,
I was flying around, like breaking the camera free and flying around, and it is much faster now. If you look at the menu map of Rebirth, you're seeing, and we talked about this in that map video too. Please go check it out. Where you bring up the map and you're seeing the full map, and I have that right here actually. Let me go. I can bring it up. Let's get rid of that, and then bring in. Oh god, where's it at? Full map. Did it show up? It didn't show up. I gotta get rid of the black. Yeah. I gotta get rid of that.
Oh wait, Wiley, did you have? Oh wait, never mind. I think you got it.
Oh yeah, I got something to add to this.
There it is.
For sure. Okay. There's a solution for this.
Okay, but
all right. So what Dan's about to tell you is that each of these regions fits into a very small portion in the overworld map. Yeah. Right? And so the overworld, the actual world map is way bigger and way more vast than the actual areas that we play in, and each of those little zones is just a piece. So from a game dev standpoint, here's one way that you could solve this. And this is what I would love to see personally. So you have two maps. You have a globe version of the map that you fly over, and with the geography that's true to the world map as seen on the map screen, right? And then another one that's for exploration, like Rebirth. Because as we know, Rebirth's playable sections were just little tiny portions of the overworld map. So if you marry the two, you end up with this sort of illusion of scope. And when you go on the Highwind, the altitude could be such that it sort of masks all of that. And so you get this sense of really traveling across the world in this sense of scope. And then when you land, it could be that you can only land in these these ports, right? All
Like the
the
tiny
areas that
Bronco.
have already been set up. Yeah, exactly.
With the
So
ports.
all of the zones have an airstrip, right? So it could be that you can only land this bad boy on the airstrip, and so you just have like a transition scene where you're going from the overworld map to the playable zone, and it creates like this really nice illusion that feels appropriate in size without everything having to literally be one for one. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Sorry, Dan. Continue.
No. I'm just gonna bring in Hamaguchi. Yeah, I'm actually just gonna bring him on the show.
And for the surprise,
Get hype! It's
Hamaguchi.
Yo, this show would go from this level to this level, bro. People be like, yo, you gotta tune in to Hypecast every week, man. They got freaking Hamaguchi.
Dude, you got so hyped you peaked. Like I didn't. Anyway, continue.
Sorry. So yeah, Hamaguchi saying, with Remake and then Rebirth, we were hoping that players have seen the evolution of Final Fantasy VII, with Remake being a more story-driven, and then Rebirth having that sort of open field where you can traverse freely. Then, we are interested in producing the Highwind, so in the third title, we're hoping that it will allow for an even more expansive map, and players will be able to experience that. So obviously he could be meaning like an even more expansive map, like, hey, we're adding in Wutai, we're adding in Mediel and Northern stuff like that. Or he could be meaning like what Wiley was saying, we got to make the map bigger for the Highwind. So you're flying above the clouds, we're masking it because when you go above the clouds, now you got the whole world that you're traveling across. And it could be a different map for sure. And then, of course, another one where he's like, I definitely want to address the same for what is likely to be expected from our experience with the Highwind to explore the world. Basically, he's saying that a key challenge for the final game is rebuilding its world to accommodate a massive Zeppelin-like airship called the Highwind. So rebuilding the world. So basically what we're establishing is that when you get in the Highwind, I feel like he's saying rebuilding the world so it accommodates it. Like Wiley was talking about, if we're reading that word for word, then we have to say, oh yeah, they're rebuilding this world map to look a little more like this. Now, for the sake of this video, I did all of my stuff in that predicted world map, explorable stuff. And I kind of broke it down of what that meant. Wiley did too, of where like, hey, this is the grasslands here. Just a small little area, and then over here to this small little area, and then they just lump it together. See, like, boom, boom. And then they were like, they just smash it together right here. They smash it in. And that's the whole continent. But I'm going to go with this for this video. We're going to bring this back. This is my predicted explorable world map. And of course, this does make the world map significantly bigger with everything included. And so it's got to be able to go from one side to the other. But what I want to do to answer your question from before, you were asking about gated exploration and if that's still going to be a thing. And I think yes. And the way to do that is to show you my story path. All right, my projected story path. And this isn't really a prediction. This is more of like me just saying, hey, if everything kind of goes according to plan, which it won't. If everything goes according to plan, like the OG,
we got a whole ass Rocket Town that's out of place right now. Like,
yeah, Bone Village, baby, that's down south.
Bone Village is that.
Bone Village down south. No. So we got. We're gonna talk about that in a second. Here we go. Look. You might be able to see it pop up. Maybe. I gotta activate it. Activate. There we go. Okay, so now you see the little squiggly line. Okay, we're starting from Icicle End. We're going to the Northern Crater, and I'm not talking about story details right now. I'm going to try really hard because I have a freaking awesome idea for how this thing opens, but we're going to save that for next week. Get ready. And
nice.
You go I'm going to put a dotted line because you go straight over to Junon, right? You go straight down here to Junon. And then we're going to get from here, maybe we get limited exploration with Tifa when the Highwind, and you can fly around. I was thinking about this, a little bit of story just to kind of get you in the mindset. What if Cloud isn't washed up in Mideel? I'm not saying they should change that, but what if because you're a freaking veteran and you're like, I know where to go, Mideel, and you get there and he's not there and you're like, oh my god, where is he? And now you have to go fly around and find him. so that could be
Cloud.
I'm not saying that's what they should do. Obviously Mideel is a very important location, but it's like, or maybe you fly down there and Medeel's not there. Where is Mideel?
Mideel
Wait a
on the
second.
top, like,
They moved it. They moved it. Now you have to go fly. So there's something like that. It's could maybe limited exploration, or let's just get to Mideel, because that's when things really kind of start to open up story-wise. Because when you get to Mideel, Tifa decides to stay with Cloud, which means Cid is now your party leader, and you're on the hunt for the Magnus Materia. And in the game of the Final Fantasy VII, the original, not taking anything here and making it new, there's a branching MSQ. You can either go to Corel, or you can go to Fort Condor. It's up to you on which one you go to first. So there's your little taste, right? So as far as gameplay design goes, you're finally getting your taste of Highwind exploration as you're given a choice. Do you want to go for Corel, or do you want to go for Fort Condor? You take your Highwind, you fly around, you do whatever you want, because here's your branch. I made blue for branching path. Boom, boom, whichever one you want to go to. They could change the story up a little bit even more to like have it to say, do you want to go to the underwater reactor? Do you want to go to the other Magnus Materia? You know what I mean? Like, that's just too much to get into right now. But anyways, branching paths, your little taste. Which one do you want to go to? We go back to Mideel. We get Cloud. Cloud's back. And now from this, in the original game, the Gold Saucer was closed, right? So this is your gated exploration. When you didn't have Cloud, you can go to the Gold Saucer. They say it's closed. Dio's like, nope, sorry, I don't feel like it's right in the time like this, right? And then he has a change of heart when he sees Cloud, I guess. And then he's just, oh yeah, it's back open. Let's go. Let's whatever. World's ending. Let's have fun. But what's really fun about this, and this is just me revisiting the OG Final Fantasy VII. What's really fun about it was kind of rediscovering. Like, I'm rediscovering the discoveries that I made when I was, first played it. I'm flying around the world map. I'm like, what happens if I land in Cosmo Canyon or Costa del Sol? What are they talking about there? And you go there, and some people are just living it up, man. They're like, whatever, world's ending. Yeah, it looks awesome, man. The meteor looks so cool in the sky, whatever. And you can go to Wutai or whatever. But I would also kind of say, at this point in time, I think we have restricted airspace in Wutai and over in Mideel. You can't fly over these areas because they're at war. That changes this world.
Midgar?
What did I say?
You said Mideel. I just want to make sure.
Sorry. It's on my
For
mind.
the people who are listening to this audio,
Midgar.
Mideel on the mind, I get it.
My bad. Yeah, so Wutai and Midgar restricted airspace because obviously Wutai doesn't want a Shinra ship flying over, which is the Highwind, during this wartime. And then you have Midgar at war, so they're not going to have you flying over, which is also another, maybe a clever way to mask the size of Midgar or whatever. But yeah, no flying over Midgar, no flying over Wutai. Get restricted airspace. And to just kind of throw in another story possibility that we will explain or talk about later on, maybe Cid doesn't want to go home, so you can't go to Rocket Town yet. Okay? I really think that it might be a story thing for Cid, and we'll talk about Cid in another Hypecast, but maybe he just doesn't want to go home.
That is the hypest cast.
That is the hypest cast, baby! Whoa!
Man, yeah, I can't wait for that for you, man, because I know you're going to go off.
I'm not sure when that one's coming up, but yeah, that's a different day. We're talking. We got an hour to talk about this.
All right, and then then we're gonna go back. Which one did I leave off on? Okay, Junon. We're gonna go back to Junon because it's time to go to the underwater reactor, which is offshore. Little boop. And then we take our submarine and we have a submarine battle underwater, and we end up in Rocket Town. It's time because Red Leader takes the Magnus Materia to Rocket Town, right? No, he doesn't. But they're at Rocket Town with the next Magnus Materia, correct? I believe. Like Shinra takes it there, and then I think after that happens and the party has retrieved all of the Magnus Materia without story details. Maybe we end up in Wutai. All right, and then we go over to the Chow, and then we take the Magnus Materia back to Cosmo Canyon. Now, what's exciting about this is once you get the submarine, underwater exploration opens up. Let's not forget about that. Let's not forget about that. We are all excited about the Highwind, but underwater, this is a vast ocean that you take the submarine in. Maybe, of course, we got the sunken Gelnica. Of course, we got emerald weapons swimming down there. Of course, we have the ancient key. But there's got to be more. There's got to be other little caves we can go into. Do not mark them. Do not tell me there's a side quest here. Let me discover them. That's another, it just goes back to that discovery. I'm taking my submarine through the underwater and I'm just finding awesome things. Like the foreshadowed, maybe hinted at, maybe I'm just reading into it too much. The sunken capital of the Republic of Junon. If you go in Rebirth, Rebirth they said it's sunk, right? It's got to be on the bottom of the ocean for me to explore. And they said also that all the treasure went down with it. Oh, I want some of that treasure. Yeah. Okay. So
maybe all the kids at Old Salt couldn't save in time could be down there too. There's a number of possibilities.
I told them kids.
I told them kids not to jump off the dock.
Did you find a bunch of children corpse down there?
Man.
I told them not to go in there.
Them children with the flotilla now. An old Junon, under Junon proverb, as they say. An old under Junon proverb. Them kids with the flotilla.
So since we've been to Wutai because we ended up at Wutai, that's no longer restricted airspace, and it opens up. Now you can explore Wutai. You can go back to Wutai. You can do that stuff. You can get some Leviathan scales or something like that, right? Discover them. Not a side quest telling me to get them, but just discover. Then we
wait, to add on to your, I like the idea. So I like the idea of discovery, and I don't want the game to tell me where to go or generally what to do here. But I do like my checklists at times. I feel, but hear me out. What if they put that on the hub? What if they put that in the map room? You can mark, or when you do things in areas after discovering them, as opposed to it just feeling like a checklist from the get-go.
Wutai region, 75% done, or like 98% done. What am I missing? Don't tell me what it is I'm missing, but just tell me I'm 98% done with it. Like, okay,
even do it.
Now I'm exploring.
Or even do it more
subtly.
subtly. Maybe if you're like looking at that region and there's a way to like have Yuffie go, no, I think we did everything there. It's like,
sure, yeah, you could be like, no, I don't know why we're back here. I've already proved myself in the tower. Like, I don't need to be.
Get the hell out of here.
Man, it's funny you said that, Lee, because I got notes that are like exactly like that. So I got like on here, maybe Chadley is like mysteriously missing for a large section of the plot, so you don't have his map markers until like maybe the end game, or maybe the war with Shinra, Wutai, whatever, and all these conflicts. Maybe some of these Remnant Wave towers that you had previously are down or destroyed. Like there's a whole bunch of like different ways that you could set it up so that you can sort of retroactively take all this stuff out of the game for part 3. Because I'm a big fan of the exploration piece. Like I don't mind a checklist, but if you're gonna have a checklist, then I also want to be rewarded for exploration, right? Like I need secret ruins and optional caves and monster dens and hidden shrines and whatever.
Yes.
Like tuck some exciting things away, right? And allow me to discover them on my own.
Dude.
Like I want the exploration to be incentivized, right? Like not everything has to be hidden, but some things could be. And I'm going to make an example right here. So how much cooler would it have been in Rebirth, for example, if just the proto-relic quest lines were hidden, right? All of a sudden, Gilgamesh is the secret summon, right? He's not just the summon you get from doing the proto-relics. It teaches you about the first one through a story beat, but you have to discover the rest of them. And it becomes like, it's just a bigger thing, right? You feel more fulfilled, a better sense of reward when you figure out how to get everything you need. So I'm okay with checklists, but there needs to be an exploration piece, and it needs to be a lot bigger. Like, give me a lot of stuff to find that's not on a map, no matter what. Like, you have to get there and check it out. And to that, I have an idea about like how some of this could happen. So we have chocobos, right? So we know chocobos give you different access to different types of terrain and stuff like that. And I want to talk about if we think there's going to be breeding and stuff like that a little bit further in. But can we see some like verticality, right? Like,
Yes.
not necessarily like Breath of the Wild, but wouldn't it be dope if you could just parachute off the Highwind, like straight up like Fortnite style?
We're dropping. Where we dropping, boys?
Go from the top plate into the slums, and you can control your descent, right? Like, I want to see some creativity.
Well,
I want to see the ability to really explore and transition from the airship to the ground in cool ways. Like,
yeah. So
man,
this area here is what exactly the first thing that comes to mind for me is this area here where it's like, okay, maybe the Highwind can't land here because it's very rough. It's a mountain. It's a mountain range. Well, we have chocobos for that, right? We have a certain one called a gold chocobo that we have to have. There has to be a gold chocobo in this game, and that's
a question. That I had.
I mean,
so
for me,
do you think
it's
you'll
not.
be able to breed one? Or do you think you just get one? That's the first part.
Yeah, I would want one. I would want to breed it. I would want them to bring that minigame back. Such a core part, especially in this part of the game, like this section of the game. I would love for them to have the opportunity to even maybe even take a mountain chocobo over to Costa del Sol or something like that. Take it to different regions, and then that I can explore the mountain ranges over there. Obviously Mount Corel, like there's mountains over there that Mount Nebel and things like that. Like, be able to take the chocobo and climb up these mountains and maybe discover something up there would be so much fun. And then when you get the gold chocobo, that's also going to be up here. You have to take it to go to Round Island. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to do that. But yeah, there's sections
if
here.
they let you breed a gold chocobo, then that gold chocobo has to be used to get something awesome, like it was in the OG, right? Like,
to be able to take the chocobo out on the ocean, the open water, and just kind of look for the Round Island up there. That's just classic Final Fantasy VII. I'm not, it's nothing new. It's just, hey, let's bring back that feeling of discovery. It's what this video is all about. So yes, I think it shouldn't even be a question. We really need to have chocobos and make them an important element of the discovery. Again, that's why I'm like, discovery is the key word here. Then I got like you were saying, I want this map to be littered with like caves, dungeons, secret dungeons. Like Final Fantasy 15 had one of them, and it was the coolest thing ever. Like, I loved having that secret dungeon that you just discover. And then the secret dungeon is actually super rewarding. It's super fun. It's super different. I would love to have a lot of these dungeons just be different puzzle-like dungeons and maybe even maze-like dungeons where it's no hand-holding. Like, just go in there, just see what you can find. So yeah, litter this map with a lot of islands, underwater things to find and discover. I'm with you on that. Like, I don't mind like a percentage or a checklist per se. Like, it's not like get rid of it completely and have no HUD at all. But it is kind of, I do like what Lee was saying. Where like, let me know at least I got 7 of 8, or just say, right, I have one missing and I gotta find it. I'm good.
I like that idea towards the end of the game, but what I meant more so is just I want discovery and this exploration to feel integrated to. I want the Highwind to really feel like almost like my menu, not just my base of operations or my trap. I want it to almost act like
it incentivizes it,
right? And to like add on to like what Wiley was saying earlier, like using the proto-relics as an example, right? So when we started that, Chadley explains that in chapter 2, like when we leave Com, like, okay, here's how proto-relic, like, let's follow these. So now there's this expectation of going into every area that we need to do a proto-relic quest. But the moment you found it in the hub, or on the world, the map displayed the proto-relic icon. So you knew exactly where it was. It wasn't really a matter of finding it. It was more so just figuring out where it was on the map, and then you did it. I
Right.
would like, if we're gonna bring back like a proto-relic type quest or something back, instead of necessarily just needing to go through the Junon region to find out where the icon is on the map, what if we have Chadley on the Highwind or somebody like saying, hey, we got leads over here, but we need to figure it out, and you actually need to go and discover, like, make me constantly go back to the Highwind to utilize these resources and these things that I've collected over time.
Because if there's a checklist, then you're going to fast travel.
Yeah.
You're just going to fast travel there rather than take the Highwind.
That's just it. If I'm doing the Proto Relic quests and it's like, okay, I missed the Junon one or whatever, I just got to go to and then I don't even need to look far. I just need to look on the map and look for the icon of the Proto Relic quest. Instead, have it be like, okay, talk to Chadley on the Highwind. He's like, well, we had a lead in this region or something like that. Give me like a tidbit, like nudge me to what I need to do. And instead of just showing me the icon on the map, now it's like, okay, I need to go travel here. Oh, what if a Chocobo that we had in a previous region is suddenly now useful in Junon? Like, what if the flying Chocobos from Cosmo Canyon?
Yes.
It's like, oh, that's actually useful here, but I need the Highwind to bring that Chocobo over here. Now you can reinvent these maps by integrating these mechanics that were exclusive to each area, but now it's like, oh, the Gungaga jumping Chocobo.
Yeah.
Hey, bring that to Cosmo, because the flying one, it's a little too narrow path in the mountain for him to traverse through.
Yeah.
This one can jump through or grind on something. Like, I like that idea where you can just... Now you're reusing assets you've already built, but you're crafting something that's really cool and smart and makes all of it worth it to say, hey, bring I can't remember all their names, like Belle and Celine or whatever. Like, bring them here and there. See what they have to offer. So.
Sort of Metroidvania type.
Yes.
Exactly.
Dude, Final Fantasy, it's just Final Fantasy, man. Like, it's just Final Fantasy. Being able to see something that you want to explore. They have that literally on the original Final Fantasy VII map, where you see that cave. It's one of the materia caves, and you're just like, how do I get there? You know, even Round Island itself. You're flying your Highwind around. You see Round Island down there, and you're just like, I can't land. How do I get to this island? You know what I mean? Like, you just see it, but you don't know how to do it yet. Love that stuff. And let me bring in this as an example. I'm going to bring in a bunch of locations, and I did this in that world map video as well. These are some predicted location spots as well as the well-known location spots. And I'm bringing in some compilation locations as well. What about Cliff Resort? What about Cliff Resort? Like, what if you're flying your Highwind over and you see Cliff Resort from Advent Children, which is the Healing Lodge. It got repurposed as Healing Lodge. But you see it, you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. There's like a whole, like, there's a bunch of white buildings down there in the cliffs. And you're just like,
I need it.
How do I land there? I can't. Well, how do I get there? I got to go get me a mountain chocobo. I got to go get the mountain chocobo, climb up here, and I get to Cliff Resort. That's exciting. That is discovery, where it's not like, but then imagine this. How exciting was that, what I just pitched to you? Or you go to the job board and calm, and they're like, well, hey, somebody over in the Cliff Resort needs some help. And then it's like, boop, indicator, Cliff Resort. Is that exciting? Or is what I just, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know.
Man, yeah. Sure,
it's
bro.
way more exciting to discover it.
Instead of marking the map, be like, yeah, it's like northwest of Common. You know, once you hit the highway, look north. Like, you know,
and that's not to mention. It's not to say that there's nothing there, but just like, oh, cool, you found a location treasure. Nah, you land there, you get there. Maybe it's where the Turks are hiding out from before Crisis. Maybe some of the Turks are hiding there. You know, like you run into somebody. We'll talk about that in another Hypecast. I got stuff to say on that. But like,
so question for you guys. So, are we in agreement that like Lucretia's Cave, that's part of the story? Like, you can't miss that.
I believe so. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's main. That's main.
It's gotta be main.
I put it here, but
so the ancient forest and like the Chocobo Sage's hut and stuff like that, those should be optional hidden dungeons, that kind of thing.
Hidden dungeon, right? And I will bring up. I'll try to find the quote. But I think it was one of the Ultimania said, "Hey, fun fact," or it might have been. It 100% was probably 100% was probably
Definitely, maybe.
It's like, yo, listen, I'm really confident, but don't quote me on it. But I'm pretty sure that Last Elixir Productions, awesome channel, go check them out. Or at Shinra Arc, always doing amazing finds and digging up cool stuff. Digging Bone Village. But when you go up Bone Village and you go up to the top right, you can see a foresty area, and then you can walk there. It leads to nowhere. But originally, in the original code, before it was cut, it was supposed to lead to the ancient forest, which makes sense of why Bone Village was moved from up there, because they want to put it next to the ancient forest. Maybe you go into Bone Village, you walk up there, you go through there, and you end up in the ancient forest, which is a secret puzzle-based dungeon like it was in the original game, like a very puzzle-based environment puzzle. So that would be so fun, so cool as you're flying around and you see it over here in the Cosmo Canyon region, and you're like, there's a forest over there. Looks like something's going on there. I gotta land there. I gotta figure out how to get there. Maybe for this one you need a river or an ocean chocobo. Maybe you need to find a way, or maybe even the tiny bronco. I don't know. You need to find a way to get to this side rather than just saying mountain chocobo for everything. So like that's just some fun examples and things like that. And then I say the sunken capital of the Republic right there. We can even bring in the Radore, because it got swallowed up. What if there's some remains down there and you can take your submarine to get to? Discovery. It's fun.
Yeah.
So removing the locations, and we'll go back to my predicted story path. Of course, remember underwater, and then we go to the Forgotten Capital, and then we take it back to Midgar. We fight off the weapon off the shore. We parachute into Midgar, and we go confront Sephiroth. Now you'll notice how this story path doesn't go hit things like Modeoheim. All right, it doesn't hit things like that because it's just for you to find out, and maybe when you land in Modeoheim, maybe there's some quests that might tie in a little bit, like you talk to some NPCs, it ties in a little bit with Genesis and like things like that.
Hey Dan, I don't know about you, but when I need Modeo, I go to Golden Saucer.
You gotta go.
Mordeo. Oh my god.
Modeo.
Mordeo.
Oh wait, I gotta bring this up because I thought of you, and I really want to bring it up on stream. This one's for you. I'll find it first.
Yeah.
I gotta find it first, and then yeah, I'll find it. You guys keep talking. But that basically that was my pitch. All about discovery. All about just the joy of discovery. Expedition 33 reminded me of it. It wasn't that it did something brand new that I was like, oh, this is so cool. Final Fantasy should copy this. No, it's something that Final Fantasy did a lot.
Yeah.
And now with Rebirth bringing back that open world exploration with different modes of transportation and stuff, Part 3 has an opportunity to expand on that even further and say, here is your classic Final Fantasy overworld world map.
Yeah.
Here it is. And it's like, yo, they did it. So, what do you guys think? That was my pitch.
Man, I love it, dude. I mean, some of my favorite memories from any of the RPGs I played is finding something that was off the beaten path that was just epic. You know, whether it's a weapon or a character or whatever. I mean, like, in the OG, Yuffie and Vincent aren't even mandatory, right? I want to see stuff that's not mandatory show up in Part 3. And
Chadley will become an optional party member.
There you go. This one's for you, Wiley. You heard any interesting puns lately?
Why do you have a full-on conversation with this guy?
Yeah. Oh man. Don't get me started.
So awesome stuff like that. And then I said no fly access or no fly zone to Midgar, but after you get Cloud, you absolutely can return to the Sector 8, or after you get the key. Basically, he even says it. Oh man, don't tell me I dropped it in Bone Village. And I should go to Bone Village and dig until I find a key to get the Sector. And then watch here, so you get a little flash of Aerith. There she. What? No. But anyway, so there's the like, let's return to Midgar. It's so cool. You can even go back to Wall Market. You can, like, these are areas that it's like, yo, I haven't been here since Remake, and Part 3 is going to put them in there for you. And you go back and explore, and you'll get the top plate of Midgar and all that other stuff. God, it's going to be so exciting, y'all. Then, hey, Wall Market Trio probably there. We'll talk about all that and more in a future Hypecast. So we have so many topics we are so excited to talk about. So if you if you like that, if you like what we just did, and if you feel a little hype, if you're feeling hype after this podcast, first of all, I want you to comment. I love the chat. Thank you so much, chat. And I'm gonna like look at chat because I think we're done a little bit early. All right, we're done a little bit early, so I want to.
I got another topic we could talk about to add another 10 minutes to this if you want.
Okay. Yeah. But real quick, if you like what we did, comment on this video and just write hype. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Just write hype. Comments boost the engagement. Comments get like, it lets people know, like, hey, I should put YouTube's like, I should put this in front of more people. All right, so just
hey, you might like this.
Yeah, man, it's getting a lot of engagement in the comment section. It's just a bunch of people writing hype, and the more exclamation you mark, I'll judge your hype rating by the exclamation marks you leave after it. Okay, that's how I'll know how hype you are in the comments. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. No, not 9 more hours, Tyler. No, we're wrapping it up. The Hypecast, Tyler. The Hypecasts are 1 hour flat. I've made a promise to the fans. I've made a promise to my panelists. It's 1 hour flat. Of course, we had some internet difficulties, so we're going to go in for a couple more minutes. Tyler, I'd love to have you on the show for one of these Hypecasts. So keep an eye out. All right, go ahead. Take it away, Excalibro. What's your little short?
Well, first, while we're promoting the channel, let me just go up and throw some merch I got.
Yeah, baby.
There's some Final Fantasy V merch right there.
Yes.
I know you can't really see my
I gotta
shirt
figure
too
out.
well,
I gotta figure out the best way to make that available for people. I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna get on that.
Little quick shout out there to Dan. But okay, so while we're talking about exploration, let's dig into the integration of side content in terms of exploration. So I'm going to just rattle off a bunch of little mini topics, and then I want you guys to just shoot.
Okay.
So first of all, how will side quests scale in an open world? So will they have radiant side quests like Skyrim that send you to random places, like send you across? Will they have quests? Will they all be posted on quest boards in towns like before? Or will we get hidden quests as well? Will they still be location specific, like Rebirth? Or will they send you halfway across the world to unfold the larger, more complicated plots and ideas? Will mini games continue to appear organically across the world, like encountering Queensblood players or Fort Condor players? Chocobo breeding or racing, how does that play into the regional element? Are we going to get new Chocobos? And let's see. And then the other question I have, we covered some of the Chocobo stuff, but the last one I got here is, could colored Chocobos remain part of the overworld exploration process, giving us access to previously unreachable terrain types?
Yeah, I'm happy we answered that last one. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that, man. Wait, I got this. I want to throw this out real quick. I'm like almost convinced. I mean, we were talking about breeding, and maybe we should have a Chocobo Hypecast. But I'm half convinced that if what I was kind of cooking before with like the different, bringing them across different parts of the overworld and map, what if there's a Choco Relic type quest and that's what gets us to our gold choco? If they don't bring breeding back and it's using all these Chocobos to, like, Chadley's like, hey, I've heard of this legendary Chocobo, and he's got us using the other Chocobos to piece together leading to this gold one. There's so many options for these Chocobo,
that
man.
actually answers Roland the Traveler's question, because I saw it in chat come up. You didn't answer the question, but that's okay. But then I went back and I found it, Roland. What about the gold Chocobo making them all obsolete once you get one? Like, once you get a gold Chocobo, they're all obsolete.
No, that.
So
my solution to that.
Yeah, using the other Chocobos in order to get the gold Chocobo. Yeah.
Yep.
The Choco Relic.
The Choco Relic.
Dude, the Choco Relic quest
is
real.
Tight. I like that name.
I want a Choco Relic quest. I want it to just
Choco
be
Relic.
using the Chocobos that we got during Rebirth to lead to different areas of discovery, and maybe we'll like piece together the clues on where this legendary gold Chocobo is. And
Yes.
when we do all the pieces and finally get to it, we're rewarded with a gold Chocobo. And then that's what will lead us to get to the other legendary thing that we need, which is Knights of the Rat. So,
Yeah.
Ooh,
you know,
I like Divine
oh.
Soul introducing a new Chocobo, a red Chocobo that goes in lava. Oh, cool.
Dude,
like
you do
that.
a number of things.
Yeah, I like that. And then, you know, there's other areas up here like the Cave of Wonders up there by like there's a bunch of different locations. If you're excited about locations and stuff like that, there's a video for that. So I'll try to leave it in the comments or something. But we talk about all of that stuff. Yeah, a volcano of some sort would be awesome. Like have an offshore volcano, like a brand new island. It's a volcano island. So cool. Love that stuff, dude.
Dude, there's so much you could do.
Yeah, and we're just call it Golg. Just call it Mount Golg. Let's do it. Or Golglian's Island. I tried. Golglian's Island. Gilligan's Island. I'm trying, man. I'm really trying.
Gold Gaga.
Golgaga. There it is. Thank you. That's much better.
Gilgana.
So there we go, y'all. I believe that just about does it for our Hypecast. I am happy to see so much hype in the chat right now. I'm so happy to see that. Chat, I promised an hour. We're going to keep it in an hour. I got about 5 more minutes with y'all. So what's a topic that you really want us to talk about? Leave that in the comments or in the chat right now. And we're going to bring it into the Hypecast. Remember, we are going to be doing the every Final Fantasy reviewed and ranked series. I'm really excited about that. It's going to be a monthly episode. Final Fantasy 1, Dragoon King just started it for the first time. A lot to talk about there. And yeah, this is a fun time. And every week, the Hypecast lives on. Part 3 Hypecast. We're going to be back next week with how we feel the opening of Final Fantasy 7 Part 3 should be. I got some ideas. Like the opening hours, or maybe even just chapter 1 and 2. Does that make sense? Does that sound good?
I'm cool with that.
Love it.
Or just opening hours. Don't restrict it to chapters 1 and 2. Just opening hours of the game. How is this game going to open up? Like it. So there's that. All right, cool. I want Final Fantasy 9 remake talk, man. I feel like I'm not going to lie to you. The hype, the warrior of hype has kind of crystallized himself. Like I've crystallized myself. All right, I'll wait. I'll wait and see. I really do truly think that Final Fantasy 9 was supposed to be released. There's too much going on. Like it was supposed to release now, but it's, you know, the rumors say it's in development hell. So I believe that. Part 3 could be opened in so many ways. Honestly, yes, dude. I'm just okay, cool.
Hey Dan.
Yes.
You know what it's called when your hype is put under too much pressure, like in the case of Final Fantasy 9?
What's it called, man? What's that called?
Hypertension, bro. Hypertension.
Hey, yo. Hey,
don't have a coronary, baby.
Have you heard any interesting puns lately?
Can we Photoshop? Can we Photoshop?
Gotta get Wiley's face. Yeah. We got his face right there.
But is he Cloud or is he the guy asking the question?
Nah, we can
put me on both of them.
Yo, I was gonna say I'm gonna put another speech bubble that's like going off the screen of just a bunch of different puns that. Like, yeah, man, sure, here you go.
I like the implication either way, because if it's the guy asking it, then Wiley really wants to know some things he just hasn't thought of yet. And if it's Cloud, he's about to go off. He's about to tell you every pun in existence.
All right, there. Okay, when do you think we'll have a teaser reveal announcement? Oh, we did that Hypecast last week. Oh no, we didn't, did we? I never posted. That was a separate video.
I didn't.
No, that you might need to just like drop it somewhere.
I think I might actually have to drop that.
About it.
Roland, let me tell you, we did a little standalone video post show recording off air, answering that very question. But I was also kind of like, ain't nobody care about that. And I didn't post it. But you seem to care, so maybe I will post it. Look out for it. Anyways, there you go.
Throw it out there. See what happens.
Just throw it out there. You know, Oh,
That'll hurt.
all right,
Oh,
y'all.
hurt.
This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being part of it. I hope you're as hyped as I am. I think we discovered something today. That discovery should be the key word of part 3.
The Choco Relic quest is real.
The Choco
You wait.
Relics. Yo,
The Choco Relic quest is real. You wait. I'm locking.
I need it.
If I had to lock in one prediction, that's my
Choco
one
Relic is real.
The Choco Relic is real. Okay, it's going to happen.
It leads you to the gold Chocobo. Amazing.
It leads to the gold Chocobo.
Yo, coming from the leader of the Chocobo Cavalry
Yeah.
himself, you heard it, guys. Choco Relic is a thing.
I don't have the Chocobo Cavalry red on
no,
hand.
no, they're gone. They're left behind. There'll be a new one, I'm sure. But for now, they stay out of the Hypecast. This is they fought hard. They fought hard in the
Yes.
last year. They need their rest.
Well,
But
until
the other series, they might come back. Who knows?
oh, I have a feeling they will.
They probably will.
Until next time, or until we do that breeding episode. Until we do that one.
Just say it like that, man.
Whoa!
We'll stay hype, everybody, and take care.
Final OnlyFans.
Ooh.
That's it. Final OnlyFans. Take care now. Bye then. Take care now. Stay hype then. We'll figure it out.